The first question was, why did I resign from the ICA work group? I was a member of the 8-person work group that Nona spoke about that was charged with reviewing the proposals that came from athletics and was to put together a recommendation that went to the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. I felt at the end of the process, when the report was put together, that I could not, with any certainty, agree that the proposal that was included there was the best option that could be developed to resolve the budget problems. It may have been, but I couldn't feel certain of that. The reason was, just as Nona said, the work group was set up to only look at what was given to it. We were not allowed to ask for proposals. We were not allowed to make recommendations. We were not allowed to be involved in the process. That was not our charge. But because we were set up that way, there were a lot of additional proposals, possible proposals, that we would like to see that we never got to see. And so not having seen those other proposals, in particular, we never saw a proposal that included all 27 sports teams. I do believe that the Chancellor and the senior management group of athletics really do want what's best for the university and for the students. I do think that underneath it all, they really do want what's best. But this process has been rushed. There have been mistakes that have been made, in my opinion, and I think that we haven't explored all of the viable solutions. So I would suggest to you all to approach them with viable solutions for changing their plans and see what they say. I encourage you to do so.
So overall, from that work group, I felt like I could not provide proper consultation. So my consultation was that I could not consult, and that is why I basically resigned. We were to review. Well, remember, I'm a scientist, and for me to review, I need to see all the data. And that doesn't mean... words in my mouth as far as what I feel the review process is. That is my review process. It's part of my nature. So as the budget crisis occurred, particularly strongly once the PE program got cut, then I was in the act of putting together a subcommittee that would be able to work and roll up their hands and go in and work with ICA. However, at that same time, Vice Chancellor would put together his own ICA work group, and so basically what would have been a charge back got transferred to this ICA work group. The ICA work group did not really end up how I hoped it would end up as far as rolling up our sleeves and getting involved, and that's partly why I ended up resigning from the work group.
Hi, I'm Heidi Cassera. I'm on the women's swim team and water polo team.
Hi everyone, my name is Joey Chen. I'm the financial controller of UC Davis Student Government.
Originally today, we were going to focus on flaws that were published in the cutting criteria. But we found, as we went through, the real criteria, as Nona said, was because of budget and Title IX. When we asked them for the exact numbers of why these teams were cut, we were told it's too complicated for us student athletes to understand.
I come to you today not as someone who knows the ins and outs of Title IX or prongs. I come to you today as someone who knows budgets. As controller of UCD, I have written a $10.5 million budget. ICA's budget is $18 million. I'm pretty sure that if I can write a $10.5 million budget with support of my colleagues in the UCD who are here in support of you, student athletes, and the student athletes themselves who are dedicated so much to their sport that they are willing to spend so many hours, hours upon hours practicing for their sports, I'm pretty sure that together we can make sense of a budget that's $8 million more. You know, so often the administration announces cuts, and more cuts. And the students are so frustrated because they do not know why the cuts are being placed upon them. We are asking, and we are extending an invitation to Mr. Warzeka and the administration. We are asking for the numbers, these solid numbers, to allow ourselves to identify exactly why these teams are being cut. We're asking for 1 year. We're asking for the numbers. We're asking for the numbers for every year after we have moved to Division 1. You give us those numbers, we will try to find a solution to the ICA budget. And if we cannot, we will at least come to terms with why these teams are being cut.